Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ari. We are here again with yet another sketchbook tour. This one is actually pretty long overdue, so super excited to go ahead and just jump into these drawings. Let's get into it. So right here, this is my first page. The first page of a sketchbook seems to be the most difficult to figure out. But yeah, really nothing too crazy. Now let's move on. And here is the first actual drawing of the sketchbook. I believe here I was still trying to get familiar with anatomy and just trying to get more details into my drawings. So yeah, this is an attempt at that. I can see here that the date says 1/3/25, so this was at the very beginning of the year. Sorry if it's a little hard to see. My studio is still very much in the work, so we're just going with the flow here, trying my best. I titled it The Performer because, you know, it's a lady and she's doing this kind of circus-like move. It reminds me of a circus girl. And yeah, not really sure what the background's got going on. I'm pretty sure I was just trying to practice and test the waters. Yeah, not too mad with it. I really like the details I went into with her fishnets. This drawing is another example of me just trying to get a little bit more details in my drawing. I was trying my best to just do something just different. I'm very proud of this drawing because it just shows how my skills have further developed. It's just kind of this leopard, and I don't know what I was going for here, just something abstract really, because I do love abstract artworks, and this was my attempt at making my own. Here is kind of just a little throwaway page really, just random doodles, and yeah, I like it. This was my attempt at a self-portrait. Don't look too hard at that. Really like it. I like how I constructed this page. And here is another attempt of me trying to do anatomy, but I'm pretty sure I did this one freehand. Really proud of how it turned out. You see, I'm doing more shadow work or working my shadows and light, giving the drawing a little bit more depth and dimension. I guess I decided I was going to start titling my sketches, so I titled this one Her Corner because it looks like the girl is kind of standing in a corner, you know, lost in her thoughts. I really like how it turned out. And I put here that I drew this, or at least finished this drawing, at 4 a.m. in the morning, so there's that. Here is just a lyric art sketch page for this song Pity Party by, I believe, Melanie Martinez. I really like the sketches that I did for this drawing. I really like the song as well. It used to be one of my favorite songs as a teenager. And here's just a continuation of that. And this is just a random sheet of paper that I put there so it didn't smear. With pencils, the lead can just transfer onto the other pages and make the drawings not look as clean. This is probably one of my favorite drawings from this lyric art, just because I wanted to kind of do it like in a song she repeats, cry, cry, cry. And I kind of wanted to give the illusion that she's just kind of dancing to it, but phasing in and out of it, you know? This is really just some scribble scrabble of an idea I was also going to use for the lyric art, but I scratched it. And then I tried again on this page, kind of just an unfinished page, really. And then here on this page is my OC, original character. And I don't know why I drew this on the back of a page. I guess I was just trying to be different. But yeah, she's just there, chilling. And this is another kind of just random doodle page, just trying out different things, I guess. Yeah, nothing too crazy. This is an actual solid drawing. This is just a portrait of a Pinterest girl. I really like the picture, so I wanted to try to recreate it in my own style. Really love how it turned out. It's probably one of my favorite drawings so far. Oh, and this is another lyric art sketch. This was for Billie Eilish's song, What Was I Made For? I'm sure you've heard the song before. It was pretty popular. But yes, I actually enjoy the song, so I wanted to try to draw my own lyric art. Here is just this mermaid, and you know, She's just at conflict with herself of like, why was she made? And this is just a continuation of that. It's in a different style from the first one. The first drawing I did was freehand. So really proud of that. I really love how it turned out. This one I did use a reference for, but I went in with my own style and added my own details and everything like that. And this is just a continuation. I wanted to kind of give it the effect of she was like falling down to the sea floor. And yeah, I didn't really know how to do the face, so I kind of like blacked it out, which is okay because, you know, it's dark in the sea, so yeah. And that was another attempt at a pose that I couldn't quite get right. And then this, I kind of wanted to give off that effect of like when sharks or fish are in the sea and, you know, they're swirling. I'll probably include like a clip or something or a picture to explain what I was trying to go for. Really like how it turned out as well. And this was my attempt at a comic strip. I wanted to get into comics and storylines like that, but I guess I didn't know where to go from here, so I just added a bunch of random things, kind of like correlating with the first pages. I've been doing these like stars and just swirls and like random squiggles, and I think that's just my style of decor. And here is just another trash attempt. And then here is just an abstract sketch. I titled it Distortion. I like how their hair kind of gives off the effect of just nighttime, but it's their hair. This face looks pretty cool. I'm not sure what happened here. That's about all there is to that. And here is a drawing that I attempted without a reference at all. You can definitely see that there are some flaws, but pretty good for just a freehand little sketch. In my opinion, like for me, it's decent, at least for at this point in my art journey, which this was the 11th of January this year. So quite a while ago. And here is just some sketches of some noses. I was trying to look at different techniques of how to draw a nose. And I've done the same here with lips. Probably out of all these lips, this is probably the one that turned out the best. And here I tried to do hands, but they don't look that great. I still, to this day, have not figured out the art of hands, but that's okay. Here is just a random sketch of a gigantic eye. Can't complain about it too much. And here is just a portrait of a YouTuber I watch. I'm not gonna say her name because it doesn't really do her justice or anything. And this is another YouTuber that I watch. I'm not gonna say her name either because this is an awful representation of how she actually looks. I was just trying my best to practice. I can see now that it's so much later into my art progress, I can see where my flaws are. I definitely should have made her face a bit wider at the bottom, and I made her eyes maybe a little bit too far apart. Now this is kind of a bad drawing for me, but honestly, it's supposed to be Rihanna, and yeah, but I was struggling with the eyes I see, so I just completely gave up on them. She kind of gives like a Silver Surfer vibe. And this is, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I had a reference for this. I can't remember. I'm not sure what these are. It kind of looks like Hot Pockets or Pizza Pockets or something like that. Now this drawing, I know for sure I had a reference for. I kind of wanted to do like a dual sketch where like, here's the girl, but maybe this is like her fox companion. I really like the fox. I like the details that I gave it with the fur. And for the girl, you know, I don't think I got her quite exact to the reference, but I definitely tried my hardest to. This is supposed to be Biggie Cheese.
She call me Mr. Bombas.
From the movie Back at the Barnyard. I don't know what happened, but something definitely went wrong. It definitely looks slightly demonic. And this drawing is, I had a reference for it, but I was trying to do something just a little bit more extra with this sketchbook. I really like the fish because of how the shadows look. It kind of makes them look like they're popping off of the page. And I love drawing water ripples, so I've added some of those in there. I love when clocks have that distorted look, kind of like that one famous painting that I can't think of the name of. I know it's called like surrealism. That's what I was trying to go for in this sketchbook, is a bit of surrealism. But here, if you flip the page, it's kind of like the same drawing, but different. I like it. I actually did decent with the hands here. I've drawn Metal Sonic and the Psych Duck. Not really sure what's going on here, but I like it. And here is just more random doodles. This reference was from Pinterest. This is kind of just like a more goofy version of my OC. And I made his tail look like a question mark, probably questioning what's going on this page. Here, I don't even know if you guys caught that, but I accidentally ripped my sketchbook, I guess, and just here we are. This is actually a girl I saw on Pinterest. Really liked her hair, so I wanted to try to draw it in my style. Oh, and if you notice here, you might see some bleed throughs. That's because I actually got into, oh, and money. But let's just take that away for now. But here I had just bought some markers. Yeah, this is just me sampling each color. I drew Kirby. His colors are definitely not quite right, but I still think he looks cute. And if you can see, like, these markers bleed through really, really bad. Here is another sketch where I was trying to just practice drawing and coloring at the same time. That's about it. Here is a not great drawing. I tried to do like this animal that was like a hybrid of a snake and a tiger. I just couldn't get it right. And I also couldn't get the tree that he was perched in right at all. We're just gonna move on from him. And here is kind of just a chibi drawing of my OC. And I think it's cute. Like, I didn't really do too much or go into any real extreme detail or anything, but I really like her outfit. Here is a gummy bear that I tried to color as well. I like how it turned out. It didn't turn out how I had envisioned in my head, but pretty good for like a first attempt, I'd say. And now we're in February of 2025. Oh gosh, now I remember. With these sketches, I hit a very, very, very hard art block. So I was just struggling to just put pencil to paper and just come up with ideas of what to draw and create. But I was still trying, so that's what really matters. It's not bad, but at the time, I just was very disappointed in myself and how I felt like my art was regressing. But I actually like it now looking back at it. It reminds me of like the Mona Lisa. So this is kind of just like my own version of, I guess, the Mona Lisa. I don't really know. And this is another drawing that had potential, but as you can see, I guess I just did not want to put forth the effort to give her hands. This is just a visualization of me suffering from my art block. And I drew this little Cuphead character down below as well. And he's just looking very concerned at my character spiraling out, basically. And yeah, I started giving my characters cat ears. So I think I was gonna make this into her own, like, separate side character. But look at that cat eye. I do love this cat eye that I drew. And then I drew another version of a cat-eared lady. And here is another cat lady. I like this one the most out of the two we've just seen. Yeah, I love her hair. I like how I positioned the ears on her head. I like the eyes. I like the style of it. And this is another version of a cat-eared lady. Are we seeing a pattern here? I like this one too, but not as much as I like the one we just saw. And this is yet another cat-eared lady. I was just really fixated on making this cat ear lady a character, but I'm here to tell you that it didn't go that far. And this, I'm not sure what happened, but my page got pretty fucked up. And I drew Pikachu. There's a different Pikachu type behind him. And look at that. He has cat ears. And this is a representation of every drawing we've seen thus far. I'm just kidding. This is just a meme that I decided I wanted to draw. I like this meme and I wanted to draw it. So I drew it. And this is me trying to revisit comic strips again. This is my first version of my OC that I used to draw. She asked, "It's all gonna get better, right?" And you know, he's a cat, so he just makes a cat noise. And she's just astonished with that single statement. And this, I'm not sure what this is. It's just a random sketch. I'm pretty sure I had a goal in mind, but it just keeps getting worse, I think. Like, I wanted to do like a walking sequence, I think, but I was just failing miserably. But oh, I guess here I plan to come back and finish it and make it not look as bad, but that didn't happen. And yeah, I just kept going and kept trying my hardest. And then here we go. Here's another attempt in like a chibi style. I hope I'm saying that right. But it goes a little better, I think. A little smoother. Oh, this was for that mile trend. And yeah, oh my gosh, I don't know why I did that to her face. This was me trying to toss my hat in the ring. And I actually liked how it turned out. I'll insert a clip of it so that way there's a little bit more context. But I won't be able to play like the audio for, you know, YouTube reasons. But yeah, super cute. And this is the style. I actually had to use another artist's style for a reference for this part because I just had no idea how to do it myself, I guess. So shout out to that artist. At the moment, I cannot think of their name because it was so long ago, but shout out to them. And this is just another little random sketch, and I guess I was tired, and she's tired. So, yeah, and that is the end of this sketchbook. Actually, no, this is the end of the sketchbook. This was me trying this thing where people just let their Pinterest basically pick what they draw. Like you just open the Pinterest app multiple times, and whatever the first drawing that you see, you just put that on your page. And this was my attempt. I like it. It's pretty random. This whole sketchbook has been random, so it seems very fitting that this would be the very last pages of the sketchbook. That is this. On to this sketchbook. This was actually a sketchbook that I started kind of in between the sketchbook that we just looked at. I wanted to start like this art challenge where I draw for a week. This sketchbook is going to be filled with all types of random goodness. So here we are with the first page. And yeah, this is just a portrait of a lady. And it was very dark and high in saturation and shadow. Like I went through a time period where I really like drawing things that were really highly saturated, kind of like black and white effect. And yeah, I just wanted to try my hand at it, and I actually like how it turned out. Oh, and I did this drawing at 2:11 in the morning. But yes, this is another portrait that I attempted. And this is one of my favorite drawings that I've ever done. This is kind of like one of those drawings I look at and I still can't believe that I drew it. Moving on. This is another portrait. I think this was just me trying to get back into drawing side profiles. And this is just a random doodle page based off of that one Kendrick Lamar song. Same for this page. I drew a little sky bison, and that is from, of course, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Absolutely love that show. And this is Toruto. This is from that Studio Ghibli. I am butchering words in this sketchbook tour, but just bear with me, and yeah, we're gonna get through it together. My Neighbor Totoro. There it is. That's what it's called. Yeah, I just drew him. And I love how it turned out. Like, I think it's really cute. And I drew these other little fuzzball characters that are also from that movie. Or if it's not from that movie, then it's from the same studio. This is just another portrait, but kind of more in a cartoony style, I guess I would say. Like, it's not as realistic as I was trying to make the other portraits. And this is Tom from the Boondocks. And he's making just a weird face. And I drew this from reference, so the reference didn't have like this part of his head, so that's why he's missing it. And this is Hello Kitty dressed up as a bunny. And this is a bunny soul leaving her body. And this, I guess, was when I was really feeling like the tiredness of just trying to draw. Because I literally put here it was at 4:44 a.m. I wasn't that impressed with how I did this drawing, so left myself that little note. But I don't think it's that bad. I've had worse for sure. Oh, and look at this guy. This is just some random cat. I kind of was trying to give it like an abstract vibe, like a deeper meaning, like cat chasing the yarn. But yeah, I don't know what it is, honestly. I'm not even going to try to break my brain. But yeah, we're just going to say he's just a cute little cat character. And here is yet another Hello Kitty drawing. This one is a little bit more detailed than the last. And this is that character that I've seen around. I believe they call him Snoopy. Of course, he's not like the Charlie Brown Snoopy. I wanted to give like an effect of like some dark wolves running through the night, but it's kind of blobby. Really like this drawing. I like the details. I like the pose. I like the shoes. I like the shadows. Except don't look too close at the hands. That's the only thing, is the hands. This is another portrait. It's supposed to be someone on a skateboard. Kind of didn't draw it up high enough on the page. Here is a drawing. We'll just say that here's a drawing. I think it's supposed to be like a porcelain doll effect. I like it. I actually do. Like, there's some flaws in it, but if you just don't look at it that hard, it's a decent drawing to me. Now this one, don't look at it at all. I'm just kidding. But yeah, not much to say about this one. Just trying to put art on pages, really. Now this one is one of my favorite characters in existence. This is Hobie Brown, and he is Spider-Punk. And he's just really a cool character. And don't look too close, but I messed up his eye, so I just made it a spiral, which I think is fitting for his character. So yeah, this is my version of Hobie Brown. And this is Akame from Akame Ga Kill. Watched that show a while back. And I remember that I liked it. I drew her free-handed, just, looking at a reference. And yeah, can't complain too much about that. And this is another character from that show. Super cute. Just wanted to draw him. And this is Vern from one of my favorite movies growing up called Over the Hedge. I think what we're going to find out really quick about this sketchbook is that I tried to give a little bit more into my own personal lore and what I enjoy, just a little bit. This is an attempt, and that's all I'm going to say. And this is just like a cute little duck and frog in a pond or some sort. I didn't give it any color, so you can't really tell that it's a pond. Looks like they're kind of off the page, like floating above it. I like that effect. I like this drawing. I think it's cute. And this was me trying to dive into like more original character concepts. And this, oh my gosh, I like this one a lot. I'm just a sucker for puns. So her name is Irrelevant, kind of like irrelevant. And this is, I don't know what this is. Just some type of hedgehog or raccoon, I don't know, with rocket boots on in space. And that's about it. And this is Harry the Platypus. And this is just a sketch of some fruit. This is another drawing that I had a reference for. Kind of like that fish eye lens effect. I was really proud of myself after this drawing. I do remember that. And this was like the last drawing I did for the challenge, I know. And this was also from reference on Pinterest. I think it's cute. Like, it probably could be a little better, but yeah, it's just a girl laying on like the side of her bed with her cat friend on top of her head, and he has butterfly ears. And then this is when I started drawing my OC in a completely different style. And yeah, this is just kind of more doodles of her in different expressions and whatnot. You know, just drawings that I would use for videos, like shorts ideas and everything like that. This is supposed to be like the picture of a cat staring off at the floor. And kind of like, it was supposed to be like a joke of how, like, you know, cats will just stare off into nothing. But in reality, it's just we can't see what they see. This is kind of the cat in more of a doodle-wise style. Turns out he's just looking at like a bug on the floor. And this is more poses of my OC. I love her. This is her dancing. I wanted to start getting into animation. Yeah, super proud of it. I really love how she turned out. And I wanted to also animate her cat companion, you know. Basically, my OC's got a little bit of a makeover, a little bit of an upgrade, in my opinion. Still trying to improve where I can. And this is another little drawing of my OC. And yeah, she's just gonna do another little dance sequence. It looks pretty funny and silly just seeing them as solo sketches, but once you put them together and edit it, it actually flows into an actual animation. It's a bit choppy because I tried to do this in a more efficient way to where I didn't have to draw so many frames, but I've learned that if I want to get into animating and take it really seriously, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and draw more frames. And this is just a random doodle of Kirby. If you can't tell, I am a fan of Kirby. And I can't remember what this character is. He may be a Pokemon, but yeah, he's cute. And I saw the reference of them together, so I wanted to draw them in a different form and in a different style. And pretty much I gender bended them, but yeah, I still think it's cute. It's cute to me. Definitely was afraid of adding color, so I didn't. It's another drawing of my OC in a little bit of a different style. And this was for a kind of lyric art video. And I used the song Day and Night by Kid Cudi. And this is kind of a continuation of that. And this is just a random doodle. A worse random doodle. And this was me attempting to do another walk sequence. Yeah. I really like drawing my characters in kind of these random little doodle forms. So there's a lot more of those. This one is another little sketch with her and her expression. It was supposed to be based off of like me anytime I post a video because this is literally a representation of me. Because I don't know why I just get so wrapped up into like wanting to check and see how it's performing, but I have to remind myself that that's not what it's about. It's about just making the art that I love and then just putting it out there. I'm still working on it, like it's a learning process. I wanted to kind of do a thing where I drew this first, this Pokemon, and I wanted to make it look like it was a hat on a girl's head, but the girl drawing was after, and it doesn't really coincide with the Pokemon. So that's that. And this, I believe, was going to be some type of portrait. I actually might have done this freehand. I never came back to it. And this was supposed to be like another little kind of meme-ish type of drawing, but yeah. This is a really cute drawing. I really like it. And this is just a random little turtle. And that is the last drawing of this sketchbook. Now, this is not like my typical sketchbook that I would usually get because it doesn't have a blank cover where I can add my own art to it. But I liked it because it has these in and out pages and it's got like kind of this cardstock type of feel. So I figured like if I tried to do more work with markers and everything, maybe it wouldn't bleed through as bad as my other sketchbooks. Decided to just give it a try and now we can just dive into it. I got this sketchbook actually for another type of challenge video that I did on my channel where I was trying to use a different art medium, and the medium I chose was watercolors. So that's what this sketch is. It's my first attempt at using watercolors. It's definitely not the cleanest sketch or art piece, but I like it. Like I had to go back in and add my own little extra details to kind of give it a little bit more life. And this is kind of just more expression doodle type drawings with my OC. This is that one SpongeBob meme. I made a short to these drawings, so there's more context, but the story behind these is that I went to Walmart one day and completely forgot my phone at the self-checkout. So the panic that was running through my mind was insane. And this was just a version of my OC in a different style. She's kind of got like this punkish attitude. This was gonna be what I thought was a cool drawing. And this is another like little just meme face drawing. I think it looks really cool. I don't know why, but I like it. There's another version of my OC, kind of like maybe her as her like inner child or something like that. I really like this drawing. I don't really know much else to say about it, but I really like this drawing. I use this to the song No One Noticed by the Marias. I really, really love that song. And I kind of wanted to do a lyric art to it, but didn't really know where to go with it. So this was kind of just like that. It was like this guy pretending to be Eminem if he like dropped his ice cream cone or something. And I thought it was pretty comedic. So I wanted to draw my own version of it. So that's kind of what this whole little sequence is right here of these next few drawings. Definitely go check it out on my channel if you would like to give yourself a little bit more context of what's going on with these drawings. And this was me trying to get into comics again. I went back to the chibi style for some of them, at least. And yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about these comic strips because I'm still working on it, so I don't want to say too much. But yes, I really love how you can see my style is kind of developing a bit more in the comic strip area, so yeah. And this is my official lyric art for the song No One Noticed. And I just have to say that I am still obsessed with this song and my drawings to the song. I'm very proud of how it turned out. I really love it. And then this is just a random drawing, trying to do a little bit more anatomy and pose sketches. And yeah, that's about it. Actually, that last drawing is a little bit out of order. In this sketchbook, things are going to be a little bit out of order because I kind of started running out of pages. So I had to kind of hop around with my drawing. Anyway, this is a portrait that I attempted, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, honestly, because I liked the hair, but I didn't like how the face turned out. I had a reference, and my sketch kind of just veered far away from what the reference actually looked like. So, wasn't the biggest fan of this one. And this is just a random little sketch doodle. I saw this style of art and I really wanted to try to recreate it in my own style. So that's this. And then this is just some weird little cat character that I also saw and wanted it in my sketchbook. And this is just kind of another little someone I saw on Pinterest. I wanted to draw them, but add my own extra features along with it. I like the spider, same for the shark. Just random drawings that I just put together on a page. And this is supposed to be my recreation or my redraw of the previous portrait that I was talking about that I wasn't a fan of. Still not the biggest fan of this one either. Like, I don't know what was happening, but my art was just regressing. But it's not that bad, but I just felt like I could do better. In this, I was just hacking into my sketchbook, just scissors and everything, but it was to make this like interactive page, random doodle. And this is another sketch where I just put some random things on a page. Another walking sequence, but not good. You guys, my heart yearns to be an animator, but I struggle so bad. And this is where I was trying to think of different poses you could draw with your OC. So that's what this is. I drew my OC in different poses. And this, I wanted to try to get back into color. So I tried. For the most part, I think it's a pretty solid drawing. I kind of wanted to do something a little different with the hairstyle, but still kind of my style, but just different. I like the pop of blue. Blue is my favorite color. I did this in June. And then I did this drawing, which is an animal portrait, which I guess I hadn't done one in a while, so I wanted to see if I still had it. And yeah, I just drew this secretary bird. And I think it turned out pretty alright. I like it. And then this is just, and then this is another sketch, kind of like the one before where I wanted to just add a little pop of color and something extra, I guess. But I don't like this one as much as the first one. Don't even look at her hands. I don't know what happened there. But practice is practice. And that is the end of these sketchbooks. Oh, wait, one more thing. And I also did these little hanging dolls. Can't really show you from this angle, but basically her legs just swing back and forth. And then I did another one. I was gonna hang them up somewhere, but I just haven't yet. And yeah. But yeah, guys, this is the end of my sketchbook tour. I hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to say, whether you're an old subscriber, new subscriber, not subscribed at all, I just want to thank you for giving this video a watch and for listening to me yap on about my random drawings. I'm diving into digital art now, and I feel like now with that, the possibilities are just endless. I can't wait to just make and create more art and videos to share with you guys. And I would love if y'all would just come and join me on that journey or continue to follow me along with this journey. And I just can't wait to see where we'll be in the future. But with that being said, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you and bye.